Track against an unfamiliar foe. It's Game 1 against the Colorado Rockies, final interleague series of the year. And it all starts right now on MASN. It's the Orioles on MASN on an absolutely gorgeous Friday night downtown. It's the Orioles and Colorado Rockies tonight, beginning a three-game weekend series, the Orioles' final interleague series of the year. And hi, everyone. I'm Jim Hunter. Mike Bordick joins us in a moment as the Orioles return back home tonight to begin a 9-game homestand. And they're coming off a road trip in which they went 4-4 out west. It started out real well as the Birds were 4-1, but they bring a 3-game losing streak into tonight's game. Obviously, they're looking for consistency, and they're looking for a surge that will hopefully take them into the postseason. Now, the one thing they have had going for them on the year that has been consistent, that is their fielding. The Orioles remain the best defensive team in all of Major League Baseball, and it has solidified this team. Manny Machado has made a tremendous impact at third base. Nick Markakis has yet to make an error on the year. Of course, the double play combination now with Brian Roberts back and J.J. Hardy, and the Orioles are getting it done in the field. So you look at the numbers, they are outstanding. 36 errors, the fewest in all of Major League Baseball, with the best fielding percentage. Manny Machado, the best among third basemen. Nick Markakis and Nate McLeod, neither have made an error. So the Orioles are the best fielding team in baseball, and that has helped out their pitching as well. And when we come back to Camden Yards, it's Game 1 in this 3-game weekend series. It's the Orioles and the Rockies. Lineups and first pitch are coming up next. What a lovely night for baseball here at Camden Yards. Game 1 against the Colorado Rockies. Jim Hunter and Mike Bordick. And Mike, talking about the defense and the outstanding defense the Orioles have played on the year. Hitting has been up and down at times. Pitching has been up and down at times, but not the fielding. What does that mean to a team knowing they're going to catch the ball?
Well, it means a lot. Obviously, they've made great strides in defense with the Manny Machado coming up last year and Nate McLouth, but they have certainly solidified and made it easier on their pitchers. They've obviously limited the opportunities opposing teams have and made for less stressful innings for the starting pitchers and even the bullpen. And I think it really starts with the backbone of this team. J.J. Hardy up the middle, Matt Wieters and Adam Jones, and they've really fed off that. Everybody has certainly seen the way they've developed their routine. Manny Machado, as a young player, has looked to his left and seen J.J. Hardy go about his business, and it's made him better. It's really had an effect on everybody in the infield. Chris Davis is playing a Gold Glove first base to go along with his huge power numbers.
Well, the Orioles and the Rockies here tonight. It is a perfect night for baseball as the Orioles return home. Here's our Train game time temperature. Train is celebrating its 100th anniversary by offering irresistible financing. It's hard to stop a train really hard. 79 degrees. Look at that low humidity and the winds out of the east-southeast at 9 miles an hour. And here is the Rockies lineup. Fowler, LeMahieu, and Troy Tulowitzki. 20 home runs, 65 RBIs for Tulowitzki. Kadir, Rosario Helton, Arenado, Torrealba, and Culberson rounding it out for the Rockies. So Wei-Yin Chen getting set to go to work, his 15th start on the year and looking for his 7th victory. And the final interleague series of the year is underway, and it's over but low and 1-0.
We'll take a look at the scouting report for Wei-Yin Chen. He has been staying consistent. He's allowed 3 runs or fewer in 13 of his last 14 starts. He has been spotting his fastball. There's a good look at one right there, right on the outside corner, and his secondary pitches are certainly becoming a strength. Look for him to really use these pitches as the game goes on. Second and third time through the order, his slider and his real good changeup.
Fastball misses up and away, and it's 2-1. There are the numbers for Chen overall. 6-5, VRA very respectable at 3.06. Fowler ahead 2-1, fouled back, and the count goes even.
Well, Wei-Yin Chen, since coming off the disabled list back on July 10th, has certainly been one of the most consistent starters for the Orioles, averaging almost 7 innings per start and giving up just the 3 runs or fewer in all of those starts.
And a excuse me swing, defensive swing by Fowler to get a piece of it and foul it off. Fowler 26. He's in his 6th season, brings a 3-game hitting streak into this game. 6 for 12 over the past 3 games. Rockies have played well. They've won 5 of 6. And the pitch swung on and missed. He got him. So Wei-Yin Chen starts off the evening with a strikeout of Fowler and 1 away.
Yeah, really establishing his fastball to Fowler. This one a fastball up and away and gets him to chase after tying him up with a fastball in previous pitch.
Wei-Yin averages about 5.5 Ks per game. And here is DJ LeMahieu, who is playing at second base, 274 with a couple of home runs. Breaking ball swung on and a high fly ball to left center field. Playable for Nate McLouth, and Nate has it for the out, and 2 quick outs here in the first. Well, on the road trip, Manny Machado, as he has all year, stellar defensively, robbing hitters of base hit after base hit and getting it done. Manny 9 errors on the year, but leads third baseman in fielding percentage.
And here's a look at the Orioles defense. McLouth, Jones, and Markakis in the outfield. Hardy and Roberts up the middle. Manny Machado playing a Gold Glove third base. Chris Davis at first, and Matt Wieters behind the plate. I'll tell you what, Manny Machado is almost redefining the third base position for his depth and his arm strength over there, and of course the great athleticism that he has.
Troy Tulowitzki will take ball 1. Tulowitzki with Carlos Gonzalez on the DL is one of 2 hitters in this lineup that Chen really has to be concerned with. And the other is on deck, and that's Michael Kadir. Tulowitzki is tied for 8th in the National League with 20 home runs. He's got 65 RBIs, and he comes in just 4 for his last 20. Walt Weiss, first-year skipper, former teammate of Mike Bordick's in Oakland.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of talking with Walt Weiss and a little bit about Troy Tulowitzki, and he is just thrilled to watch him play on a daily basis. Of course, the injuries have been tough on Tulowitzki in his young career, but a super player, fabulous shortstop, obviously incredible power numbers, although he has kind of tapered off this month.
1-2 the count. And Chen right at him, down and away. Now, did you remind Walt Weiss that you took his job in Oakland and he had to leave and go to the Marlins?
No, not at all. I thanked him for everything he did to help me. He's a great player. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, Walt Weiss probably the most underrated player to ever play the game. Just an amazing shortstop.
And the 2-2 to Tulowitzki. Check swing at a breaking ball. Appeal to first. He did not go. There's Conroy on the check. So the count full on Troy Tulowitzki. Weigh-in coming off a loss. He hasn't pitched since last Saturday in San Francisco. He went 6 innings and allowed only 3 runs, but the Giants won that game 3-2 over the Orioles. And the 3-2 is fouled back. And the count holds full.
Well, take a look at Tulowitzki. His extra base hits this year. Yeah, he's got 39 extra base hits on the season. He jumps on the fastball, 25 of them, but he has the great ability to hit the off-speed pitches. 7 have come on breaking balls and 7 on the changeups. Great power throughout his career. He averages almost 60 extra base hits a year.
Well, that one's pulled in the corner, and that's going to get down for a base hit. It chases McLeod all the way to the wall, and Tulowitzki's going to pull in with a 2-out double. So Wei-Yin Chen is trying to find some consistency. And Mike, when you look at his year, it's really strange. Since coming off the DL, he has had 6 starts. All 6 have been quality starts, but his record only 3-2 despite that 3.07 ERA. In his last 2 starts, he has had last inning problems. Against Seattle, it was a 2-run home run in the 7th. That cost him a win. And then last week against the Giants, he lost it 3-2. All 3 runs came in his last inning in the 6th inning.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. I think Wei-Yin Chen is learning how to pitch deeper into ball games. I think we talk about his secondary pitches, and I think those are the things that are going to help him get a little bit deeper and more effective late in a ball game. If he can slowly spread out his off-speed pitches, and it'll become more effective, I think, later on in the game when hitters have to face him for a 3rd or even 4th time in a ball game to keep them off balance, because it doesn't seem to me that it looks like he's tiring at all. I mean, he isn't leaving a lot of pitches up in the zone. I just think he's been too consistent with his fastball and has to mix in more off-speed pitches.
0-1 on Kadire, and there's a strike at the knees, and it's 0-2. Michael Kadire, the longtime Minnesota Twin, made the All-Star team this year for the Rockies, so he's been an All-Star now as a Twin and as a Rocky.
Yeah, Michael Kadire has emerged as this team's leader. Of course, a great veteran, certainly putting up big numbers once again this year, but he takes control of that clubhouse, and a lot of the younger players look to him for that guidance on how to play every day consistently in the major leagues.
Kadire now 33 years old. He's in his 13th big league season. Having a good year, 324 average, is 3rd best in the National League. So Chen trying to work around that 2-out double. We are just underway at Camden Yards. And the 0-2 is fouled back. Wei-Yin is pitching for a 7th time following an Orioles loss. He is 3-2 and also has a no decision. Birds, of course, losing the 3 games in Arizona, swept. When you look back at that road trip, the Orioles are feeling they probably should have gone 7-1, and they had a chance to win all 8 games.
They sure did. I mean, they played some really good baseball. Unfortunately, the end of those 3 games in Arizona certainly put a damper on a road trip, but they played well. I think they got some timely hits. They didn't get the timely hits when they needed them at the end of a ball game, but good defense like we had talked about earlier. I think their pitching was sound, and the ability to really, like you said, come away with 7 wins actually on that road trip.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Real good breaking ball down and in, and Chen gets out of it. 2-out double, a man left. We'll head to the bottom of the 1st. Colorado nothing. Here come the Birds. the Orioles take on the Rockies. Here's a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Orioles. McLeod, Machado, and Davis batting third with Jones in the cleanup spot. Markakis bats fifth, and Wieters and Hardy. Henry Urrutia thrilled to be back in an American League ballpark. He finally gets to start a game. He'll DH at bat eighth. 286 on the year with 4 runs and a couple of ribbies. And Brian Roberts at second base batting ninth.
And here's the scouting report for Juan Nicasio tonight. He's looking for 6. Yeah, one of the keys for his success is reaching that 6th inning mark. This year, 3-1 with a 2.45 when he pitches 6 innings. The problem is he's only done that in 7 of his 22 starts this season. He loves his fastball, certainly trusts it. He works at around 92 miles an hour, does have the ability to throw at 95, but he throws it 75% of the time. And he's been on a short leash. He's exceeded 100 pitches just 3 times this season.
And a big problem for Nicasio on the year has been fastball command.
That's it. He elevates that fastball and gets hit. There's his earned run average at 5.04 on the season.
Nate McLeod fouls it back, 1-1 the count. Nate at 278, 7 home runs, 24 RBIs. He was 6 out of 29 on the road trip, and went just 1 for 10 in the series in Arizona. High fly ball, right field and deep. He got a lot of it. Back it goes, and that ball is gone. And just like that, the Orioles grab the lead. Yep, the Birds are happy to be home.
Nate McLeod with his beautiful swing right there. His 8th home run of the season. And he did not miss that fastball.
The Orioles now with 162 home runs on the year, leading the major leagues. McLeod, 3 pitches into the game, gives the Orioles the lead. And here's Machado, and there's a base hit up the middle. So Manny Machado is on with a hit after McLeod gave the Orioles the lead with this swing.
Well, Nate McLeod starting it off for the Orioles offense. Fastball that ends up down the middle, and he gets beautiful extension here. Take a look at the pitch. Oh, and there it goes. He doesn't even turn and look. A mistake made, and he knows it right off the bat.
Well, Nicasio now has allowed 14 home runs in what is now his 23rd start. And here is Chris Davis, who's in the number 3 spot for the Orioles. And he'll take high, and it's 1-0. And Chris Davis has really been hitting well. 8-game hitting streak, hitting at .303 during that surge. He's got 10 hits in the 8-game streak, including 4 home runs and 10 RBIs.
I'll tell you what's beautiful about Chris Davis' swing and his approach. He's been able to make some adjustments. They've been pitching him really tough. Beginning of the season, he was covering the whole plate. They were trying to pitch him away. He could reach out there 6 inches off the plate and drive it over the left field wall. But they have been aggressively working him in, and he has made the adjustments, and he's getting the bat head to the ball and putting up some big numbers and really creating a lot of damage.
Throw to first to Chase Machado. Well, prior to the game, Buck Showalter was asked why he had Davis batting 3rd and Markakis batting 5th, when for most of the year it's been opposite that. It's been Markakis batting 3rd and Davis 5th. And he gave a real interesting answer. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ooh, swing and a miss. He got a fastball by him. He said with this particular lineup, it makes it very difficult for the opposing manager bullpen-wise late in the game. He has them staggered. McLeod is lefty, then Machado's a righty, Davis a lefty, Jones a righty, Markakis a lefty, then Wieters the switch hitter. Then he has Hardy a righty, Urrutia a lefty, and Brian Roberts a switch hitter. So you can go through a bullpen pretty quickly trying to match up against this particular lineup. And the reason he likes Markakis batting 5th is he hits lefties well.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not going to move Markakis, and if Walt Weiss has to make some decisions, he could really burn up a bullpen in a hurry if he tries to play matchup against this Orioles offense.
This is only the 5th time all year that Davis has batted in the number 3 spot. 2-2 the count with Machado at first and nobody down. And he got him. Got a fastball by him, so Davis down on strikes and 1 away, and a real good comeback in that at bat by Juan Nicasio.
Well located fastball here, up and in. And the tail's back over the plate. Chris Davis just missed it, but you see the action on the fastball as it moves back over the plate. Just got that one by Chris Davis. He'll be hunting that fastball his next at bat.
Brings up Adam Jones, who has seen his batting average fall back below 300 at 296, which is still 10th best in the American League. He's 0 for his last 14. Machado again draws a throw and easily getting back. Manny on the year has 6 steals, but he has been caught 5 times. Not a very good percentage. Casio really paying a lot of attention to him, and another throw, and diving back in is Machado. Phil has not made a pitch to Adam Jones. Swing and a miss. The pitch darting down and away. Adam on the road trip was 12 out of 35, a 343 average. So that tells you just how hot he was the first part of that road trip, because he brings an 0 for 14 into tonight's game. He had a couple of home runs and 8 RBIs on the road trip. Check swing and he fouled it off. Didn't mean to swing and the ball hit the bat, so it's 0-2.
A little two-seamer that kind of took off up and in on Adam Jones. See, Nicasio has some pretty good life on his two-seam fastball. And there are points in his career where he was rushing it up there in the mid to high 90s and trying to get that back. Some major injuries back in 2011 and 2012 kind of set him back. Of course, he had a devastating injury when he had a line drive comebacker hit him in the head and ended up breaking his neck on that.
Slow roller to third. The only play is at first as Arenado gets it across to get Jones. 2 down with Machado at second base. And here's a look at the Colorado Rockies defense, 5th best in the National League.
Yeah, Culberson over in left field, Fowler in center, the veteran Kadair in right field. Tulowitzki is short, LeMahieu playing second base, Arenado and Helton on the corners with the veteran Torrealba behind the plate.
Here's Nick Markakis. Nick has a 5-game hitting streak. That batting average now at 282. 8 for 23 during the streak with 4 RBIs. That is a 348 clip. And Mike, he is on a very unusual surge right now, a trend. Chance here for an RBI with 2 down, and he takes low 1-0. For Markakis, his last 26 base hits have all been singles. 26 consecutive singles for Markakis. He has got 23 games and 94 at-bats without an extra base hit. And he has gone 174 at-bats without a home run.
Well, you always talk about the law of averages, so we're expecting a double or next base hit, right?
Double to the gap or home run. He has not homered since June the 24th, so he's closing in on 2 full months without a home run.
Well, Nick is definitely strong enough to hit home runs. He is just a great all-around hitter, and I think the fact that he's been getting so many singles, though, tells me that, you know, he isn't feeling just quite right to let that bat head go. He's still certainly using the whole field and picking up his hits. Well, I think he'd like to be able to drive that ball a little bit better, and I'm sure he's working hard at finding that feel where he can get the bat head out. His hitting coach Jim Presley is certainly spending long hours with his Orioles offense.
Good hitters count for Nick, 2-1. Casio checks Machado. And it's a strike on the outside corner, 2-2. Markakis appears to be in disagreement with the calls. He takes a walk.
He appeared to be down in the zone. Nick Markakis, when he gives that little look, obviously in disagreement, very aware of his strike zone.
Well, 2-2 on Nick. And he got him. So Markakis down on strikes, and that ends the inning. A couple of strikeouts for Nicasio, but Nate McLouth leading off in the bottom of the first for McLouth, his 8th home run on the year, and the Orioles have a 1-0 lead. Forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Weigh in the first, allowed a 2-out double, but no runs, couple of strikeouts. And he'll go to work now in the second. 5, 6, and 7 coming up. Here is Willeen Rosario. The DH will lead off. And Rosario has been red hot. He's got a 7-game hitting streak going. 281 average, 16 home runs, 61 RBIs. Walt Weiss has stacked his lineup against Wei-Yin Chen with right-handed batters. The only lefty batter that Wei-Yin will see is on deck, and that's Todd Helton. And the 1-0 swing and a miss, and it looked like he swung at ball 2. On the year, Walt Weiss looking at these numbers, lefties hitting just 205 against Chen, righties 261.
All right, Rosario good numbers against lefties on the year at 309. As you mentioned, Todd Helton waiting in the on-deck circle. He's a professional hitter, has been his whole career, so he's put up good numbers against lefties and righties.
Todd Helton, a senior member of this Rockies team. 1-2 the count on Rosario, and just inside. Good idea going inside on Rosario to make him think about it.
Sure is, and I'll tell you what really separates Wei-Yin Chen is his ability to double up in there. He might go off the plate about 3 or 4 inches, but he has done it time and time again this year, going right back in there.
Does with a breaking ball, but misses, so the count runs full. Wei-Yin has averaged on the year 10.49 base runners per 9 innings, which is very good. This one's ripped to left field. McLouth is back, and he's got it for the out. So one away here in the second. Well, before the game today, the Orioles made the announcement that Bill Castro, there's Bill, has taken over the duties as pitching coach, and Rick Adair, the Orioles pitching coach, has taken a personal leave of absence. And that's what the Orioles said. It is personal, and that's all they'll say, respecting Adair's privacy. So with Castro on the bench, Scotty McGregor has been brought back from Florida. He was down there with the Gulf Coast team and extended spring and the rehabs and all. He's a man of many hats, but Scotty's now the bullpen coach.
Yeah, and Scotty obviously very, very familiar with the pitchers down in that bullpen. It has spent time down there, knows all the pitchers, and obviously has worked with most of them, except the new faces that have come aboard. But Bill Castro certainly making this a little seamless. Bill Castro certainly has major league experience as a pitching coach and pitched in the major leagues, so I don't think there's going to be much of a disruption until Rick Adair comes back. Or, I know everybody hopes that he can come back.
1-2 the count on Helton, who has 2,490 base hits, 10 hits away from 2,500. 1-2, and he got him. Oh, Wei Yin Chen has that strikeout pitch working. That is 3 Ks through 6 batters in this game and 2 away.
Oh, good fastball here. Wei Yin Chen, we talk about his fastball, but he has the great ability to locate it on both sides of the plate. And this one just painted on the outside corner to get one of the best hitters, of course, in this generation with the swing and the miss.
Both of these pitchers in this game tonight are facing their opponent for the first time in their careers. Swinging a foul bat off the bat of Nolan Arenado. Arenado, the 22-year-old rookie, having a real good year. Wei Yin is 1-1 in 2 career starts against the NL West, but the first time he's seen the Rockies. And Nicasio has never faced the Orioles. A little bit low, 1-1. Arenado, 9 home runs, 40 RBIs. Swinging a foul, got a piece of Wieters.
A good changeup right there from Wei Yin Chen down in the zone. Of course, Matt Wieters took the brunt of this one. You see the circle change grip. Not quite the location, but took enough off of it. Catches Matt Wieters right in the stomach.
Even with the chest protector, it hurts.
Yeah.
And the 1-2 is poked foul. Wei Yin in search of win number 7 as the Orioles trying to get this homestand off to a good start. This is a critical next 10 days in the Orioles season.
Well, it sure is. I mean, finish up with some interleague play here against the Rockies.
Can't hold up on the breaking ball. He's down on strikes, and Wei Yin Chen has a 3-up, 3-down inning. Bottom of the second coming up, 1-0 O's. David has already won $500 just by being selected, and will win $100 more for every Orioles hit during the game tonight, plus an extra $500 for any Orioles home run in the 5th inning. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery Hit It big contestant of the game, play 5-card cash. Go to mdlottery.com/Orioles to enter. Youngster with the new orange bill cap. There's a little sweetheart hanging out at the ball game with mom. It's Friday night.
Yeah, a lot of kids
here. Hey,
tonight.
Wait a minute. Is he old enough to wear that floppy hat? Juan Nicasio allowed the leadoff home run to McLeod and then a single to Machado, but Manny was left stranded. We'll go to work on Matt Wieters, J.J. Hardy, and Henry Urrutia. Fastball right there for a strike, and it's 0-1. He has a violent delivery, Nicasio. Wieters 5 for 27 on the trip. That was a 185 clip with 1 home run. Fastball in the outside corner, 0-2. Matt for the year, 16 home runs and 56 RBIs. And that one too tight. A ball and 2 strikes. Nicasio out of the Dominican Republic. It's his 3rd season. 26 years old. He didn't sign until he was 19. High fly ball at right, a mile high. Playable for Kadire. And he settles under it and has it for the out. And one away to the Orioles' second. Beginning today, Masson is celebrating Social Media Weekend styled by Hair Cuttery. All weekend long, Masson will be rewarding fans with great prizes and exclusive opportunities. Be sure to follow Masson on Twitter, Facebook, mobile, and Instagram for more ways to win. And share a haircut with a child in need. Find out how at haircuttery.com/share-a-haircut. Fastball at the knees for a strikeout. Hardy.
Home plate umpire Paul Emmel appears to like that low strike right at the bottom of the zone.
JJ has the batting average up to 256. Ground ball to second base. Right there is LeMahieu. And he gets it to first for the out, and 2 quick outs here in the second. Well, this pennant race is heating up here at Oriole Park. The Rays will be in town Monday through Wednesday, and on Tuesday night, don't miss Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. For every Tuesday home game, all the upper reserve seats are just $9 in advance. Back your birds in the hunt for the postseason and save. 888-848-BIRD or online Orioles.com for your tickets. Here's the happiest man in the Orioles lineup, Henry Urrutia. First ball swinging, a bloop to left. In on it is Culberson and makes the running catch. It hung up there just long enough for him. So the Orioles go 3 up and 3 down. We're through 2 at Camden Yards. 1-0 O's. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Antwerpen Toyota. Come to Antwerpen and take the Yes test today. Visit any Antwerpen dealership and find out if you pass. And by PNC for the achiever in you. It is a beautiful Friday night in the Inner Harbor, as the Orioles are back home after the 3-city West Coast road trip, and Wei-Yin Chen off to a real good start. He has struck out 4 of the first 7 batters, and this allowed just 1 base runner through 2 innings. 35 pitches, 25 of those have been strikes. Yorvit Torrealba, Charlie Culberson, and then back to the top of the lineup for Dexter Fowler. Torrealba, the veteran catcher, at 265 on the year, and he'll get ahead 1-0. Torrealba 1 for his last 8. When the National League teams go on the road in the interleague games and play in the American League cities, we have seen the managers mix up the DH, try to get somebody in there and get 4 more at-bats. And in this game, as Torrealba pops it up, Walt Weiss has both his catchers in the game. And as Davis at first will grab it, he has Torrealba catching, but the other catcher, Rosario, is DHing. So he can use the rules to his advantage to get somebody some at-bats.
Yeah.
Well, fans, on Wednesday when the Orioles take on the Rays at 7:05, first 10,000 fans 15 and over receive the Orioles license plate frame. Show your Birdland pride as the Orioles battle Tampa Bay for a spot in the postseason. And get your license plate frame to show off your love for the Orioles all year long. Get your tickets in advance at Save 888-848-BIRD or online at Orioles.com. Culberson, first ball swinging, fouls it off.
Walt Weiss, you mentioned him, the ability now to make some moves and make the adjustment to the American League. He has a unique perspective. He played in both the American League and National League, so knows what it takes as a player to have success and win. And I think he's using those strategies, obviously, as a manager now.
Wei-Yin Chen, 18 and 16 in his 2 years with the Orioles. Facing the 24-year-old Charlie Culberson, who's just in his 15th game with the Rockies. Fouls off the breaking ball. Colorado has a 3-man bench and an 8-man bullpen to begin the series.
There's a look at their bullpen.
Not many seats open out there. Getting a foul back. So Culberson is battling. One of the reasons that Chen has just 3 wins in his last 6 starts, despite all 6 being quality starts, is the Orioles have had trouble scoring runs for him. Here's the 0-2 and a bloop towards the middle. It hangs for Brian Roberts and 2 men down. But he's trying to get the Orioles going here. And Mike, the road ahead is not going to be easy. These 3 games are against a Colorado team that is not contending, but look what lies ahead.
Yeah, that's right. 522 strength of schedule, toughest in the American League. Now 29 of the games are versus teams with a 500 record or better. So very tough. 29 games against the American League East, 7 games against the Central, 3 against the American League West, and of course these 3 here against the National League West. But I'll tell you what, it just puts the Orioles kind of in charge of their own destiny with so many games against the American League East.
Markakis comes in on it. Fowler has skied out. And Wei-Yin Chen has his second straight 3-up, 3-down inning. Mid-third at Camden Yards, 1-0 O's. Percentage in the American League, and the Orioles at 440, and the American League average is 404. Tigers second, then the Red Sox, the Angels, and the Texas Rangers. So the Orioles, the best slugging in the American League. Our league leaders brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Pretty impressive there. Of course, the power numbers that the Orioles have put up with the home runs, but the doubles right there as well. You talk about being ahead of the Detroit Tigers. That's saying a lot about this powerhouse Orioles offense. And look at Manny Machado leading the way with the doubles. And of course, Chris Davis with the home runs.
Brian Roberts will lead off, batting ninth, and McLeod and Machado against Juan Nicasio, who has retired 6 in a row since the base hit by Machado in the first, and Roberts' first ball swinging fouls it back. Nicasio 12 and 13 in his career. It's his 47th big league appearance. He has started every appearance, as has Wei Yin Chen, who by coincidence is making his 47th big league appearance tonight. And Brian looks it over, 1-1. Brian's bat is beginning to come around and get more consistent as he gets more playing time and sees more pitches at the plate. 4-game hitting streak coming into this game. And he is 8 for 16 in that streak. And as you have pointed out quite a bit, you know a hitter's seeing the ball well by how he takes pitches.
Yeah, definitely. Nice quiet takes, just seeing the ball so well. Limited head movement. And I'll tell you what, since Brian Roberts has come back, he is putting together some quality at bats. And I think that's the most important thing. Until he started picking up his base hits, he would work a pitcher deep into a count, with the opportunity to possibly get on base by way of walk. But just jacking up that pitcher's pitch count. Here we are, 3-1. Great hitter's count that Brian Roberts has worked himself into.
And a leadoff walk. Real patient at bat there. So B-Rob gets on, leading off in the third. And the first walk allowed by Nicasio. Pretty good pitch count early on after throwing 17 pitches in the first inning.
Well, he's shown this Orioles offense that he's going to challenge him with fastballs. So they've been up there aggressive. He's already at 77% of his pitches fastball. So they're looking to hunt that heater.
Nate McLeod now. Broken bat pop-up right to the shortstop, Tulowitzki. And he's got it for the out and one away here in the third. Don't forget about the next fireworks night here at Oriole Park. It'll be next Friday following the game at 7:05 against Oakland. Enjoy that beautiful post-game display to the hits of the Beatles, commemorating the 50th anniversary of their American debut on the Ed Sullivan Show. Get your tickets in advance and save 888-848-BIRD or visit Orioles.com. Paul McCartney just played in the area in Washington, D.C. in July.
Timeless music of the Beatles.
All right, here's your Beatles trivia. Can you tell me who the oldest Beatle was and the youngest?
Probably not. I could try, though. I would say John Lennon, the oldest.
Ringo was a few months older.
Okay.
They were both born the same year.
Paul McCartney.
George Harrison was the youngest.
Okay, so I was wrong on both counts. So I guess I don't know my Beatles. But I can sing some Beatles songs. And I won't.
I could provide the beat for it. Go ahead. 0-2 on Machado, who singled his first at bat. Manny leading the Orioles now with 153 base hits. Roberts on at first now with one down. And a bouncer through the hole. That's a base hit. Oh, does he go so well the opposite way with that inside-out swing. And the Orioles have 2 on with 1 down. For Manny, his 45th multi-hit game.
He loves that when a runner gets at first base.
Time now for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. No, it's not on the Beatles. Chris Davis, 77 extra base hits, most in Major League Baseball. Now, the only Orioles to lead the MLB in extra base hits, Frank Robinson back in 1966. He won the Triple Crown that year. And Cal Ripken in 1991.
Pretty impressive company. Of course, Chris Davis has put his name amongst the most elite players in the history of the game with his power outburst this season.
Well, Chris Davis with a chance to add to the Orioles' lead. 2 good base runners out there. And it's just inside, 1-0. Well, maybe Davis with the extra base hits lead. Maybe it's an omen of some hardware that may come his way. Throw back to second. When Frank Robinson led in extra base hits in 1966 and Cal in 1991, they each won the MVP in the American League that year. And you know he'll be a contender, especially if the Orioles make the playoffs.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, his name's been right there talking about most valuable player pretty much the whole season.
1-0 pitch is taken high, ball 2.
Of course, Miguel Cabrera is working on the Triple Crown once again. Could be potential back-to-back years. So Chris Davis certainly wants something to say about that.
Roberts at second, Machado at first, and only one down in the Oriole third inning. Birds with a 1-0 lead on the Nate McLeod first inning home run. 2-0 is low, ball 3.
Walt White scratching his head. He knows that Chris Davis is going to let this one eat. 3-0 count, the guaranteed green light with runners in scoring position. This better be a perfect pitch.
The Rockies are really not over shifting on Davis. And the 3-0 is fouled back. Yep, he had the green light, had a good cut. See the shortstop Tulowitzki shading up the middle, but he's on the shortstop side, and LeMahieu at second base is where he should be with a runner at first. Maybe a little deeper than double play depth, but certainly not over shifting all that much. And 3-1 the count. 2 on and 1 out. And it's high, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. 2 walks in the inning.
Good patience right there by Chris Davis. Working himself into a great hitter's count for laying off that high fastball.
Here comes Jim Wright, the pitching coach, for a chat with Nicasio. 26 years old. Nicasio, he's had a strange year. And we've heard over the years, ever since '93 when the Rockies came into the major leagues, how it is so difficult to pitch in Denver. The thin air and the difficulties of the ball really flying there. He is better at home than he is on the road. His ERA at Coors Field is 3.95. His ERA on the road, you see it there, 6.03. There can't be any explanation for that.
No, there really can't. It's unbelievable. Because Coors Field is definitely a hitter-friendly park, and most numbers are so elevated, obviously, because of the elevation. It's a big field, home runs, balls fly out of there, pick up your hits.
Adam Jones in a big spot, fouls it back. Roberts, Machado, Davis, third to first, and Nicasio facing Adam Jones, who bounced out his first at bat. There's a real good spot for Adam to break his 0 for 15. And the 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2, got it right by him.
Well located, good velocity at 93, just painting that inside corner after a little slider on the outside corner. Really opened it up in there.
Nicasio has walked 2 both in this inning. He has struck out 2, both of those in the first inning. He's ahead of Adam Jones, 0-2. And a foul back to the right.
Reach back to get a little extra, 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Now Nicasio, he's only got 3 pitches. He's got the fastball, of course 2 fastballs, 2-seamer and 4-seamer, but a slider and a changeup. And the changeup is primarily his pitch against left-handed hitters. So right-handed hitters can pretty much sit hard, and you might see an occasional wrinkle on the slider, but predominantly the fastball.
Another 0-2 is in the dirt, and Adam laid off. That's the pitch that Gave him a lot of trouble on the road trip.
Yeah, he tried to reach back and throw that one as hard as he could at 87 miles an hour. That's about what he's going to top out at on that type of pitch.
Showalter with John Russell. The Crow is here today. A couple of fine tunings going on.
Yes.
He roves in occasionally to work with Jim Presley and the guys. 1-2 pitches, bounce towards the hole. Base hit for Adam Jones. Roberts scores. Machado is being held as Kadire got to it quickly. Adam Jones on an 0-2 pitch bounces it the other way, and it's a 2-0 Orioles lead.
Beautiful job by Adam Jones using the whole field. Falls behind 2 strikes, but take a look at the pitch sequence here. Hard slider away, fouls it off. Then you get that fastball, 93 inside under the hands. Tries to rush one by him again at 94. And then the hard spiking slider down and away. A nice job by Adam to lay off it. And then battles with 2 strikes and finds that hole the other way to pick up a big RBI. Nice at bat by Adam Jones to break out of that slump.
And how do you break out of a slump? Generally you do by going with the pitch, and that's exactly what he did. Bases still loaded, a run in, 2-0 O's. Here's Markakis. And there's a strike, 0-1.
Well, some good at-bats in this inning. Manny Machado going to right field with the hole open with the runner at first base. Couple base on balls by Machado, and by Brian Roberts and Chris Davis, and then a nice piece of hitting by Adam Jones.
And that one's upstairs, a ball and a strike. So one of the walks has scored. The other, Davis, is at second base. Base is full of birds and only 1 down. Swing and a miss, throw to third is upstairs, and diving back in is Machado. Torrealba throwing it around as Arenado snuck in behind Manny.
Torrealba has the good look, obviously, with Markakis hitting from the left side and opening at third base, and he was keeping his eye on Machado, being a little over aggressive down there. Throw kind of gets a little bit high. Manny gets back there in time anyway.
Now, one thing to look for here with the bases loaded, Nicasio has thrown 6 wild pitches on the year. 1-2 on Markakis. And a pop-up right behind the plate. There's Torrealba. Markakis is retired for the second out. That is a huge out for Nicasio.
Yeah, big pitch right there. His velocity's climbing up consistently now in this inning. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And that one, like a little cut action off his 4-seamer that ran in on the hands of Markakis.
The pitch count mounting up to 48 as he works here in the 3rd inning. Wieters is the 7th Oriole to come to bat, but it's still only 1 run in. Orioles looking for a crooked number inning. It'll take a 2-out base hit. Inside 1-0, and Torrealba out to the mound. Well, of course, it's all about scoring runs, and how about run differential? Last year, in the first 3 innings of games, Orioles were plus 16. This year, they're plus 58. Innings 4 through 6, they have struggled. But innings 7 on, the Orioles have also hit well, plus 23. They have 2 runs in here, and the Rockies have not yet scored through the first 3. And as Wieters fouls it off, the ball and a strike.
Certainly putting a lot of pressure on Nicasio. Some good at bats through this inning, but they would like to bust it open. Like you said, put a crooked number up in this inning. Golden opportunity here. The base is loaded.
Nicasio has been working from the windup ever since he loaded the bases. Wieters ground ball, foul down the line. Chris Conroy straddling the line immediately said foul ball.
It was a close one. He was right on top of the play. Matt Wieters, not much of an argument. Take a great look right here. Beautiful angle. He gets on, and that ball almost kicked back into fair territory, but the hook took it across into foul territory.
And Nicasio is a strike away from getting out of a major jam very inexpensively. 1-2 on Wieters, bases loaded, 2 down. And Wieters fouls it off to stay alive. Well, it was a 1-2 pitch that Jones singled on. Now Wieters is behind 1-2. Arenado is wide of the bag at third with Wieters up there from the left side. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 men down. And he fouls it off again.
Good at bat here by Matt Wieters, and not a mistake made by Nicasio. Really painting the inside corner on Matt Wieters, and the fastball away. It was about 3 inches off the plate that Matt Wieters had to fight to stay alive on.
Anxious moment early in this game. Buck Showalter's team with a chance to really break it open. Walt Weiss needing an out to keep it close. Wieters has fouled off 4 straight pitches. At the 5 as he fouls it straight back, like a piece it looked like of the umpire, Paul Emmel.
He got Emmel in the arm. Torey Alba giving him a second here. Look at the fastball from Nicasio riding up. Wieters just getting a piece of it, and then it does get a piece of Paul Emmel's left arm. Didn't seem to faze him, though.
Well, the 7th pitch of this at bat about to be made to Matt Wieters. Outside, 2-2. When Torey Alba has set up outside to the left-handed batters, he has set up so far outside that it better come back towards the plate or he's not going to get the call. He's setting up where it's going to be a ball if he catches it. Now that might be trying to induce the hitter to swing, but Wieters laid off. The 2-2 is outside, ball 3.
He's moving around a lot back there. Showing in and moving away, and sometimes it might be tough on a pitcher if he doesn't see an established target.
Everybody will be off with the pitch. 3-2 with 2 men down. Line drive right to the second baseman LeMahieu, and Nicasio gets out of it. The Orioles settle for a run in strand 3. Will head to the 4th. 2-0 O's. PNC Bank for the achiever in you. A hitter the Orioles are hoping to get back, as is Wilson, who has not played all year because of the knee injury from spring training.
Yeah, that was a horrific knee injury, but it's great to see Wilson Bettamy back on the mend. He's had 9 rehab games now, and of course you see the numbers, 406 with 9 RBIs with a couple doubles, but in yesterday's game in Bowie, 2 for 3 with a walk, a run, and an RBI. So great to see him back on track, and certainly Buck Showalter and Jim Presley looking for that big left-handed bat that Wilson Bettamy provided for the Orioles last year. Certainly will help down the stretch.
Buck Showalter's club with a 2-0 lead, but Nicasio got out of it. Matt Wieters, a terrific at-bat, lining out to the second baseman. You can't guide it. You can only put a good swing on it, and right. Wieters did.
Yep, all you can do is hit it. Great at-bat for Matt Wieters, just unfortunate placement.
DJ LeMahieu leading off, takes ball 1. LeMahieu just turned 25 years old. He's out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, suburb of Detroit. There's a strike at the knees, 1-1. Breaking ball fouled back. Wei-Yin Chen, 4 strikeouts. He has not walked a batter. He has retired 7 in a row and 9 of the first 10 batters. So they had 1 and 2 on LeMahieu. And another foul back. It's a lovely evening here at Camden Yards, and a little bit low.
Good spot right there by Wei-Yin Chen, though. Keeping it down in the zone, working that outside corner.
And the 2-2 is a called strike 3, painting the outer part of the plate, right on the corner for strikeout number 5 and 1 away.
Just missed down in the zone the pitch before, but went right back there and just dotted this fastball. It's Matt Wieters' gloves perfectly. Paint on the outside corner. Look at the pitch track here. Just dotted out there. Beautiful pitch by Wei-Yin Chen.
So 5 strikeouts already. Here is Tulowitzki. Whereas the game's only hit for Colorado, a 2-out double in the first. Bounces in there. This Wei-Yin against the Astros had 9 strikeouts. That was 3 starts ago. He only had 2 strikeouts against the Giants in his last start. And only 1 backwards K, 4 swinging strike 3s. Castro, now the team's pitching coach, with Rick Adair on a leave of absence. And it's off the plate outside. And 2-1 on Tulowitzki. High pop-up, shallow right. Markakis in, Roberts out. Markakis calls, and Bryan gets out of his way. And 2 men are down. Fans, the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report is back on Monday, 5 until 6:30 before the Orioles take on the Tampa Bay Rays. You can join Tom, Dave, Mel, and Phil. We'll take a look at the Orioles' rough upcoming schedule and open up that Masson mailbag to answer all of your fan questions. Back on Monday at 5 right here on Masson. 2 down. Here's Kadire. Swing and a miss at a real good breaking ball.
It sure was. He's been working on his secondary pitches, and they've all come along so well. And I'll tell you what, Wei-Yin Chen potentially be a very dominant pitcher. Of course, he's pitching very well for the Orioles and has the last couple of years. But when his secondary pitches come along and become a little bit better, He is going to be a force, and they are getting better.
3-pitch strikeout. See you later. 3 up, 3 down for a third straight inning. Wei-Yin Chen has retired 10 consecutive Rockies. Is brought to you by H.H. Gregg. H.H. Gregg Appliances, Electronics, Furniture, and more. See everything at hhgregg.com. And by Chapin Davis Investments, Baltimore's oldest and largest full-service investment company. Call 1-800-222-3246 or visit chapindavis.com. 2-0 game for the O's as we go to the fourth. A McLeod home run in the first and Adam Jones RBI single in the third. And it is great to be back at work.
Great to see a good ball game. Wei-Yin Chen throwing very well. Orioles offense putting some pressure on. Had a couple opportunities to really bust this game open here early on, but they're having some great at bats right now, working some base on balls, putting together quality at bats as Nicasio's pitch count up to 57.
Here is Hardy, Rudy on deck, then Roberts. And a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. JJ bounced out his first at bat, looking to extend his hitting streak to 12 in a row. And it's 0-2.
Nicasio got away with one there. Hanging slider up in the zone. JJ Hardy with the big cut. I think his eyes got really big on that one.
Ground ball towards the middle off the back of the mound for Tulowitzki. And he's got it at first, one away. But I do want to thank everybody for all the support during the past week. And I better leave it at that.
I hear you, Jim. You're definitely loved in this community, Jim Hunter.
Here's Urrutia, 1 out, nobody on. And a strike. Emery flied out to left field on a nice running catch by Culberson. Nicasio signed when he was 19 years old out of the Dominican Republic, so he was a late bloomer. Most of the top prospects that come out of the Dominican and Venezuela sign as soon as they're eligible at age 16. But he does have a good arm. He's ahead of Urrutia 1-2.
Yeah, it's good size too. 6'3", 230. Big, strong, physical body.
Two is hit towards third. Charging is Arenado, and he'll get Urruti at first and 2 quick outs.
Nice running play there by Arenado. He's made the highlight film multiple occasions here this season with some plays at third base.
Arenado and Machado, 2 rising stars, each just 22 years old, playing third base for the Orioles and the Rockies. Both drafted out of high school and quickly reaching the major leagues. Here's Brian Roberts with 2 outs and the bases empty. First ball swing, high fly ball, shallow left. There's Culberson, and he's got it. So Nicasio, after getting out of that jam in the third, a 3 up, 3 down, 4. Led to the 5th, 2-0 O's.
Head and shoulders, Wei-Yin Chen certainly has the whiff pitch working tonight. Big fastball here to get by Fowler to start the game off. Kadire goes down once. Todd Helton up and away. Kadire for the second time in the ball game chasing the high fastball. Wei-Yin Chen 6 Ks already in this ball game.
The whiff, yes. The Wei-Yin has retired 10 in a row. The only base runner and the only base hit, Tulowitzki's 2-out double in the first. Here is Willeen Rosario, who is DHing. Fly ball left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. McLouth on the run to play it off the wall. And Rosario's going to rumble into second with a leadoff double. So the Rockies getting out of that third inning jam. The Orioles had a run in, bases loaded, only 1 down, and couldn't get another run in, and now the Rockies bring the tying run to the plate.
And Rosario, of course, watching the whole ball game, you think, okay, Wei-Yin Chen really established his fastball, but it's a get me over breaking ball that he jumps on first pitch for that big double.
Todd Helton struck out his first at bat, one of the 6 strikeouts for Wei-Yin. Aggressively fouls it back with a good cut. Todd Helton made his big league debut in 1997. Ball 1 is a called strike, and it's 0-2.
Todd Helton has played this game at a high level for a very long time. A great athlete, of course, quarterback in college.
The 0-2 is fouled back. Chen from the stretch with Rosario at second. And the 0-2 is high, and he lays off. Tight game for the Skippers. One and two on Helton. Pop foul out of play. Fights it off to stay alive.
Ryan Chen trying to move his fastball all over the perimeter of the plate. Todd Helton challenging him in, challenging him away, up in the zone.
Line drive to left, chasing McLeod back, and reaches up and makes the catch. Nate McLeod just saved the run.
That was an amazing defensive play right there. One of the toughest reads for any outfielder. Directly over his head, but takes a direct line and actually catches it behind him. What a play by Nate McLeod. The concentration and focus. Great athleticism. He jumps up and actually probably loses sight of that ball. But great instincts, good glove placement there, and a big out made by Nate McLeod.
You know, it never fails when Mike Borda compliments a defensive player in the game open. That player has a great game.
I should compliment more of these guys. Well, they've made great plays all year.
Arenado takes ball one. Arenado struck out his first at bat. Not only did that play save a run, it kept the potential tying run from getting in the scoring position.
Huge game-saving play. Well, potential game-saving play. We'll see how the game turns out. Those are the type of plays that make a difference, and a lot of times they go unnoticed. You know, we talk about this great Orioles defense, but how many times have they prevented runs or big innings from happening with their glove? I mean, that is a huge defensive play for the Orioles and all around the field. Adam Jones, of course, runs them down as well as anybody. Nick Markakis, no errors in right field this season.
And the 1-1 pitch bounces, and Wieters keeps it in front. Runner trying to go to third. The throw, and it gets by him. And backing up was Hardy. He missed it, but McLeod is there behind Hardy. That ball skipped. So Rosario with a gamble, but he gets to third.
Well, it was a nice play by Matt Wieters. The block up the line. And Rosario take a big chance. If that throw gets in Manny Machado's glove, he's going to be out there. But the off-balance throw by Matt Wieters, it rides up the line. Manny can't get to it. You see JJ back there backing up, but Nate McLeod was right there as well.
Good throw. He is out, but unfortunately for Matt, the throw sailed on him. Machado was coming towards the base. The ball went the other way. 2-1 is pop foul out of play. So that is a wild pitch. No stolen base. No error. As Rosario took off after the ball bounced and hit Wieters in the chest protector. Man on third, less than 2 out. 11 of 18 times Arenado's been able to get that runner in. 2-2. And a base hit to right field. He does it again. Just going with the pitch the opposite way. So the Rockies are on the board. It's a 2-1 game.
Yeah, pretty nice piece of hitting right there by the youngster Arenado. Just taking what's given to him. Not trying to do too much. Just put the bat head on the ball and finds a hole over there on the right side of the field.
Way in, the leadoff double, the wild pitch, and now the single. And that wild pitch, huge. Rosario, not a speedster, might not have scored on that base hit. So now Chen will try to limit the damage to 1 run. Here is Torrealba. Aggressive cut, and he fouled it off. Torrealba's 0 for 1. He popped up to Davis his first at bat.
Saw Torrealba just kind of talking to himself, and there have been 5 strikeouts by swing and misses, so Wei Chen has that deception to his fastball. Nice quiet delivery, and then there's just an explosion on the end.
Check swing at a breaking ball, and he did check in time. They appeal, no swing. Chen retired 10 in a row before that double by Rosario. And this one's low, and it's 2-1. It's kind of amazing, as good of a pitcher as Wei Chen is, how this trend has followed him as of late, where he has that one disastrous inning per start. Well, this inning far from a disaster, but it's far from over. Here's the 2-1. It's in the dirt. Wieters knocks it down, ball 3.
I think, like all players, whether it be defense or even hitting, sometimes focus gets lost for a little bit of time, and you try to fight through and find ways to regather that focus and execute, whether it be a consistent swing or a defensive play or making a pitch. And Wei Chen fighting through to try to find a way to make the big out pitch here.
Chen gets the call. Torrealba didn't like it, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, breaking ball, hard slider down at the bottom of the zone, and Chen getting the call there.
It was Torrealba reacting to where Wieters caught it, but Emmel's reacting where it crosses the plate.
Exactly.
Well, 3-2 with one down. Arenado at first, and a run in. Rounded towards third, could be 2. Machado, Roberts back to first, double play, 5-4-3 around the horn, and it ends the inning. So Chen pitches out of it, and aid from Nate McLeod, the lunging grab, prevents a bigger inning. Maryland Lottery hit a big contestant of the game will receive $500 for any Orioles home run. David Arthur has already won $900 tonight. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery hit a big contestant of the game, here's what you do. Play 5-card cash. Go to mdlottery.com/Orioles to enter. A little Orioles magic, literally. Now, how do you think you get to be the guy that is the apostrophe?
They must have pulled the letters and apostrophes out of the hat or something.
Juan Nicasio has had an interesting game. The Orioles have scored in the odd number innings, the first and the third. And look at the pitch disparity here, Mike. That's incredible.
17 in the first, had him on the ropes in a quick second. Big number in the third where the bases were loaded a couple times. And the Orioles only able to get one run across the plate, 32 pitches, but then another quick inning. We'll see how this odd number inning turns out for Nazario and the Orioles offense.
Nate McLeod will lead it off. He led off the bottom of the first with a solo home run, his 8th. Takes ball 1 outside. Of course, this is the time of year where the scoreboard watching really goes into overdrive. There's a strike. The Yankees are in Boston tonight. They signed Mark Reynolds, who was released by the Indians, and Reynolds has a home run for the Yankees tonight. And the Yankees have a 7-0 lead in Boston. Now, this is the way the Orioles are interpreting that. The Yankees are behind the Orioles, so they want the Yankees to win so they can move up on Boston. 2-1 is ripped, and Helton plays the tough bounce. And he'll go to the bag and 1 away. Fans, when the Orioles win, everybody wins all season long. When the Orioles win and score 5 or more runs, that means pizza for everybody. 50% off regular menu prices online with your online order at papajohns.com. Enter the promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Valid at participating Baltimore area Papa John's.
Yeah, well, you know, Wei and Chen would like the Orioles offense to put a 5 spot up on the board.
Machado towards the middle. Back of the bag is Tulowitzki. And the throw on the run gets Machado. So 2 quick outs. Enthusiastic crowd on hand here. They're waiting for an offensive explosion, as are the Orioles. They had their chance to break this game open in the 3rd and couldn't do it. Chris Davis has struck out. He has walked. And now, with nobody on base, they're going to overshift on Davis. Fastball's high. The Orioles have only 4 hits off Nicasio. 2, however, have driven in runs. The McLeod homer and the Jones single. And sails high, ball 3.
And trying to get Chris Davis to chase, working around the perimeter. Chris Davis showing a great batting eye all year. His walks are way up.
And it's high, ball 4, and there's a 2-out walk. One thing Nicasio has not been able to do with any consistency is when Torrealba wants it down and away, several times the pitch has sailed back towards the middle of the play. That could be real dangerous if you're Nicasio, especially with Davis up there. Good night, the pitching coach, looking on with the 26-year-old who has had trouble getting deep in games, although part of that has been the Rockies not letting him get deeper in games.
Right. We talked about the short leash that Walt Weiss has with him. Only 3 times thrown over 100 pitches this season.
Adam Jones now with a man on. Outside, ball 1. So there's the slider that Mike was talking about, and Jones laid off. Adam RBI single, his 86th RBI. Trying for his first 100 RBI season. Began tonight 4th in the American League in RBIs. In the dirt, ball 2.
Yeah, each year Adam Jones just gets better and better as a player. Every year you think, well, how's he going to improve on the numbers he has? And every year he somehow does. And I think that great maturity that he's had, he's accepted the leadership role, and he's really made incredible improvements as a hitter, even though, of course, we've seen he can be susceptible to swinging at that slider down and away, but he's
high fly ball to left. Culberson on the warning track at the wall. He has a play and he makes the catch. So Adam hits it too high. The ballpark holds it. A 2-out walk, a man left. 2-1 game. O's in front. How about a doubleheader of baseball? 1:35 here at Camden Yards, the finale of this 3-game series against the Rockies. Then you can get in your car, drive down to Bowie, because it is a fascinating giveaway. Manny Machado, of course, last year, a member of the Bowie Bay Sox, and there is the Manny Machado Garden Gnome giveaway. The first 1,000 fans that show up 13 and over on Sunday, the game is at 6:05 for the Bay Sox, will receive that Manny Machado Garden Gnome. And you know you want that for your collection.
Yeah, that's definitely a collectible right there. You see some great things in the minor leagues, and the Manny Machado Gnome giveaway is beautiful.
And a swing and a miss to Charlie Culberson. So Manny Machado Garden Gnome, as the minor league ballparks continue to do very entertaining and incredible things to reward their fans for turning out. And as Buck Showalter pointed out before the game, they're in a race in the Eastern League to make the postseason.
Yeah.
And there's one of their famous alumni, Manny Machado. And we want to thank the Bay Sox organization for sending us our Manny Machado Garden Gnome. I'm not sure who actually has possession of it at the moment. We only have one, and I kind of think I know who has it. I'm not going to accuse anybody. I'm sure in your minor league days you remember some of the wild things they did for the fans. 1-2 pitch is ripped down the line. That ball is trouble, and that ball is gone, and we are tied. Charlie Culberson hits it out, and it is a 2-2 game. So his first career home run knots up this game at 2, and once again, Wei-Yin Chen having trouble holding a lead, although in fairness to Wei-Yin, it was only a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, waiting on the Orioles offense, score him some more runs. Take a look at the breaking ball here from Wei-Yin Chen. Trying to get it down and in on him, but he reaches out and catches it out in front and keeps it right on that left field line.
Each team with 4 hits, each team with 2 runs, and Culberson has a souvenir. The fan that caught that ball threw it back on the field. The 0-1 to Fowler. He shows bunt and takes a strike. Seventh home run allowed by Wei-Yin Chen. Now, Chen has lost his last 2 starts, and in those 2 games, the Orioles scored him a total of 3 runs. And a foul ball back.
Well, take a look at Wei-Yin Chen. First 5 innings now this year, 2.09 earned run average with a 222 batting average. But the 6th inning or later, this is when the trouble comes in. 6.52 earned run average with a 321 batting average against Wei-Yin Chen.
Manny Machado deep at third, turns it, throws it, he got him! Another stellar defensive play from Manny, and 1 away.
You just don't see that play every day. I mean, Manny Machado in left field here. He took it. Look at the deep angle he makes, and he's 3 steps on the grass, and he has to throw out a leadoff hitter. Great first step, catching it deep, plants and throws a bullet to get Fowler out, who is getting it down the line. Beautiful play. Wei-Yin Chen certainly loves that. Smile of approval right there.
Here's LeMahieu, the second baseman. He takes a strike. LeMahieu was hitless on the night. He has flied out. He has struck out. Late on that swing, and it's 0-2. And he pokes it foul to stay alive. Chen retired 10 in a row from the final out of the first through the 4th inning. Rosario doubled the lead off the 5th, and the leadoff home run by Culberson here in the 6th. That's only the second home run that Chen has allowed at home this year. The other came in his last home start, and that was the 2-run home run by Henry Blanco that turned an Oriole lead into a Mariner lead and cost Wei-Yin Chen the game. Fouled off the other way. He has made 9 starts on the road. This is his 6th start at Camden Yards. And the 1-2 pitch is hit off Chen towards Roberts. He has a play and gets it to first for the second out. Wow. Chen's going to try to walk it off. He appears to be okay, and 2 men are down. Fans. No movement from the Orioles bench. Richie Bancells and Brian Abel are looking out.
We'll take a look at this one right back through the box, and it looks like it catches Wei-Yin Chen right off that right foot. It bounces up to Brian Roberts, who makes the nice play behind him. But he waves everyone off. There's some concern, obviously. Buck Showalter looking on.
So instead of a possible base hit, it's a bounce out. Here's Tulowitzki. Outside ball 1. Tulowitzki 1 out of 2, doubled his first at bat. He's also flied out to right. Changeup is low, 2-0.
Tulowitzki, old school kind of approach with his stance in the batter's box. You don't see many hitters with the closed stance nowadays. Pitchers throw so hard, and so it's tough for hitters to really free up those hips, but he's certainly very productive with this approach.
Check swing, he went too far. They're fooled on the pitch, and it's 2-1. Dyer looming on deck. Foul back, 2-2, so Chen back in the count. Well, 2 for 14 and an RBI in his career against the Birds. Pop foul, that'll be back out of play. Last time the Rockies were here in 2007, they got 2 out of 3 in a 3-game series. The teams have split the 6 games played here at Camden Yards. And another foul ball out of play. Tulowitzki can't put it in play, but he's spoiling good pitchers' pitches.
He sure is. And Wei-Yin Chen wisely working the perimeter. Tulowitzki giving chase, but just fouling off enough of them to keep this at bat alive.
Two outs, bases empty. A run in on the Culberson home run. We're tied at 2. And another foul ball. He has fouled off 4 consecutive pitches and is about to see the 8th pitch in this at bat. And he got him. Chen wins the battle. There's strikeout number 7, and the inning ends. Rockies get even on the home run by Culberson. It's a 2-2 game.
the bases loaded, going the other way to pick up the big RBI. Give the Orioles the big lead, but a nice piece of hitting by the youngster Arenado, picking up an RBI. And then the solo shot by the youngster Culberson to tie the ball game up. Geico saving people money on more than just car insurance. And here's a look at the starting pitchers tonight. It has turned into quite a pitcher's duel. Nicasio, 5 strong innings, just 4 hits, a couple earned runs, 3 base on balls and 2 punch-outs. Wei and Chen, 6 innings, just 4 hits as well, with the 2 earned runs and 7 strikeouts. So Chen's pitch total up to 98 as Nicasio goes to work here in the 6th.
Well, nobody getting loose behind Wei and Chen. There's Bill Castro, now the Orioles pitching coach. With Adair on a leave of absence, effective today. And Nicasio coming off a 12-pitch 5th inning in which Adam Jones nearly hit a home run. He hit it too high and the ballpark held it. Markakis late, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, it almost looked like that ball came back. It looked like it had enough distance, and then Culberson actually ended up coming back. He went back to the wall and then had to move in to make the play.
Fastball's high. Markakis lays off. Nicasio, 2 strikeouts. Both came in the 1st inning. He has walked 3, and one of those walks has scored. 1-1 is right there for a strike. 1 and 2. Chen has not walked the batter while striking out 7. But Nicasio wiggled out of the big jam in the 3rd and allowed only 1 run. Buck Showalter pointed out before the game when he was asked about the struggles of Jim Johnson on the road trip. He said, yeah, there's a finality there when you're that close to a win and you don't get it done because the closer allows a run, but you have so many chances during a game to not make one single run matter. And that 3rd inning tonight was a real good example of that. 2-2 pitch is just outside, ball 3.
He wanted that pitch there. There's a look at Jim Johnson talking to Frankie Rodriguez. Rodriguez been through many battles as a closer. Good learning experience, obviously side by side there.
Yeah, that's a real good point. That among the many reasons for getting Rodriguez, that's good. Jim has somebody to talk to. Markakis fouls it off. It might have been inside, but Nick protecting. You know, when you're a guy who has the game on the line and goes in there, it's nice to have somebody who also has gone through those struggles that knows how to help get out of those struggles.
Yeah, definitely. Certainly players that have experienced that, you know, help obviously ease the mind. You know, Jim Johnson's gone through that this year. He's had an up and down season.
Another pop foul back out of play.
It's just how do you right the ship as soon as you can instead of letting it linger for a few games.
Buck Showalter and Bill Castro on the bench together for the first time. Another 3-2 to Nick. Line drive to left field. It hangs on Culberson and moves in on it. And he has it for the out, 1 away in the Orioles' 6th inning. Fans, Sunday, August 25th, the first 5,000 kids 14 and under will receive a set of Orioles earbuds presented by PNC. Then all kids 14 and under can run the bases after the game against Oakland. That game that Sunday at 1:35. It's all presented by Heinz. So bring your family out to the ballpark and enjoy a great day of Orioles baseball. And get your tickets in advance and save. 888-848-BIRD online at Orioles.com. Matt Wieters lined out to end the 3rd. He batted with the bases loaded and 2 down. Had a real good at bat and lined out hard to LeMahieu, the second baseman. 2-0 is low, ball 3. Lopez getting loose. Wilton Lopez, one of 8 relievers. There are 5 right-handers and 3 left-handers in that bullpen. Swings at 3-0 and he fouls it back.
Buck Showalter certainly knows the power capabilities of everybody in this lineup. A lot of green lights, 3-0.
Couldn't tell if Chris Davis was part of that conversation or just hanging out listening. 3-1 is pop foul back this way. And from 3-0 to 3-2 on Wieters. Yeah, I think he's just hanging.
Focused.
So back-to-back 3-2 counts here in the 6th inning. And Wieters is on. Check swing the third. He did not go. Gary Darling said he checked. So Wieters is on with one down. The 4th walk allowed by Nicasio. Well, in this game, Mike, we have 2 of the most prolific offensive shortstops in the game today.
Sure do. Great power hitting shortstops. J.J. Hardy, of course, leading the way with 22 home runs and the 66 RBIs. But Troy Tulowitzki, throughout his whole career, certainly put up great power numbers. 20 home runs this season, 65 RBIs. We're just down the street in Washington. Ian Desmond, great power hitting shortstop as well. 17 home runs and the 57 RBIs. And they certainly pay attention to each other. I think both defensively and offensively.
Outside, ball 1. JJ's got an 11-game hitting streak working. He has grounded out twice in this game. Tied 2-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Go-ahead run is on at first with 1 down. And outside, ball 2. Josh Outman has joined Lopez. We haven't seen number 88 around here since Albert Bell. Two-0 is grounded towards third. This could be 2. Arenado to second, 1 back to first, and a double play. LeMahieu with a good pivot at second base, and that ends the inning. So 1 out walk and none left through 6. Good game at Camden Yards, tied at 2. Action, game 2 of the series. It'll be Bud Norris on the mound against Chad Bettis. Our coverage on Masson 2 HD begins at 6:30. For those extra presented by Geico, then game coverage at 7 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on Masson.
And here's a look at tomorrow's starters. Chad Bettis, of course, youngster for the Rockies, just called up. 5.06 earned run average, but has pitched pretty well in his last 2 outings. He's only made 3 starts for the Rockies, and Bud Norris looking to continue pitching well for the Orioles. 8-10 on the season, 3.83 earned run average.
Well, Nicasio on the Colorado bench. Pitching coach comes over, gives him a big hug. Looks like that will be it. As Wei-Yin Chen comes on to begin the 7th and deals ball 1 to Michael Kadire. Willeen Rosario on deck, then Todd Helton. Chen about to throw his 100th pitch. Misses inside for ball 2.
Take a look at Wei-Yin Chen in his 14 starts, season high 119 pitches. Tonight he's at 100 even.
Buck Showalter would love to get him through this inning so he'd have a chance to win the game. Just outside ball 3, but it is getting to the point in the year with 42 games left where every inning is critical.
Yeah, it really does. But Wei-Yin Chen, I mean, he's pitched really well since coming off the AL. 7th consecutive start, pitching 6 innings or more. I just saw that.
And there's a leadoff walk.
A couple good pitches right there from Wei-Yin Chen. A good changeup, and then backed it up with a fastball right on the outside corner.
The leadoff man on here in the 7th. The Orioles recently announced they will serve as event chair for the American Heart Association's 30th anniversary Heart Ball, and are now offering fans a unique ticket savings opportunity. Visit Orioles.com/AHA now and receive 50% off tickets to any O's game between now and September 8th simply by donating $10 to the American Heart Association for each ticket purchase. Now that's half the price on all tickets for games between now and September 8th just by making that charitable contribution. There's a high fly ball to right towards the corner. Markakis over, and it's gone! That is a home run on the railing by the flag court. A 2-run home run for Rosario, and the Rockies have the lead at 4-2.
Rosario, aggressive first pitch hitting. His last at bat hit a double on a first pitch breaking ball, and he stayed aggressive here and found that right field corner for the home run. Take a look at the fastball away, and he goes out and gets this pitch, barrels it up. It's just 318 down that right field line, and hit it right up off the flag court fencing.
Helton bounces it to first. Davis is there, and he'll go to the bag, 1 away. So yet again, Mike, Wei-Yin Chen, this is the 3rd consecutive start. He has been unable to hold a lead. And again, it was only a 2-run lead, but it was a lead.
Yeah, that's right. He's pitched in some tight ball games. Buck Showalter coming on out.
Here comes Buck Showalter. We're going to get a pitching change. Francisco Rodriguez was getting loose, and he'll come on here in the 7th with 1 out and nobody on, and try to keep this a 2-run game. So a critical change of events here in this game. The Rockies have scored in 3 consecutive innings, and they chase Wei-Yin Chen. Four innings, and have retired 10 in a row but has allowed runs down 3 straight innings, and his night is done.
Yeah, he has 6 1/3 innings, just 5 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned runs, which with a couple home runs mixed in there, just the 1 walk, 7 punch outs, and 5 pitches total, and he gives way to Francisco Rodriguez, coming off a great road trip, 5 scoreless appearances on the road for Rodriguez in 34 games this season, 1.87 earned run average. See the opponent batting average 195. Lefties just 101. Righties much better at 327, but he controls the left-handed hitters with that devastating changeup that he throws.
Nolan Arenado will be the first batter to face Rodriguez. Breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. So the leadoff walk comes around the score on the home run by Willeen Rosario. Rosario has doubled and scored, now driven in 2 with a home run. 0-1 is fouled back, and it's 0-2. Now this answers at least one of the questions from prior to the game. Would Rodriguez close the game if it were a safe situation? He's in the game in the 7th. And Johnson now talking with Darren O'Day. And the 0-2 swing and a miss and a real good off-speed pitch. Wow.
Great breaking ball there from Francisco Rodriguez. Great sequence of pitches as well. Look at the drop on this late bite. Wow, that thing just took off at the end. Dropped about a foot out of the strike zone. Look at it hanging up there, showing itself, and then great rotation at the end as it dips down and away. Beautiful pitch.
Of course, Buck didn't definitively say who would close the game if it came to that. He said you'll have to wait for the gate to open. Now 2 down. Here's Torrealba. High fly ball to center field. Jones back, has a play. Adam is there, and he's got it for the out, and the inning ends. But the Rockies get the lead on the 2-run home run by Rosario. 7th inning stretch, 4-2 Colorado. Lead. We head to the bottom of the 7th, and welcome back into our booth Jim Hunter with Mike Bordick. And Mike, unfortunately for the Orioles, this has been a trend that has followed them going back to the last road trip. Even when they got off to the good 4-1 start, many missed opportunities to put games out of the way and put games out of reach, and that's allowed Colorado to come back in this one.
Yeah, they had a couple great opportunities there. The bases loaded and just 1 out. Of course, a great at-bat by Matt Wieters, just lined out the second baseman, but there was a chance there. Nick Markakis was up with the bases loaded and 1 out. Great opportunity for him to just get a sacrifice fly to try to keep that inning going, put another run across the board, but inability to do that really kept the game close. Wei-Yin Chen pitched a fabulous ball game. Just one mistake there, that 2-run home run down the right field line, 318 feet down the right field line. I thought it was a pop-up to Nick Markakis, and of course it just carried out. But another good outing by Wei-Yin Chen, just You know, the Orioles offense unable to support him last few starts.
Yeah, the Orioles in this game, 2 runs on only 4 base hits and left the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. So here is Josh Outman, the left-hander, to come on as he takes over for Juan Nicasio, who allowed just 2 runs on 4 hits through 6 innings.
Yeah, Outman, 3-pitch pitcher, fastball, slider change. Pretty good fastball slider combination. Of course, opponent batting average 278, lefties 217. He is a lefty matchup specialist and has pitched out of the bullpen all year for the Rockies. He's been a guy throughout his career that has made some spot starts and then moved around either as a starter or out of the bullpen. But this year, all relief appearances.
Urrutia takes a strike on the inside corner. Henry is 0 for 2, so his 3rd at-bat tonight. He got 7 at-bats total on the road trip. No DH on that road trip, so Henry became a pinch hitter, and he swings through it. It's 0-2.
Now, lefty's going to see a steady dose of that slider. It's a hard slider. Work it down and away, kind of a 3/4 type break pitch. But they see more sliders from the left-hand side than they do fastballs.
How do you like the 1970s stirrups?
Like that.
In the dirt, Urrutia lays off.
You don't see that too often nowadays.
And those look like they're the real stirrups. It doesn't look like they're painted on there. Sanitary hose in these stirrups. 1-2 on Urrutia. Roberts and McLeod to follow. Orioles down by 2 in the 7th. And a slow bouncer right side. Helton, the race is on. The flip to Outman, who gets there ahead of Urrutia. And 1 away. Nicely done by both Helton and Josh Outman. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. As we gaze down Utah Street, here's Brian Roberts, who will bat right-handed against Outman. Brian walked and scored in the 3rd inning and then flied out in the 4th. Orioles sent 7 men to the plate in the 3rd but left the bases loaded. Strike 1. So the Rockies bullpen will have to get 9 outs to try to hold their lead. Roberts lays off. It's 1-1. Tampa Bay is in 2nd place in the division. They're at home and trailing Toronto 3-2 in the 7th. And the Yankees lead at Boston is 7-1 in the 7th as the Red Sox trail.
You talk about the Rockies bullpen. They've been rock solid. Actually, here the last week or so, pitching very well. Just 3 earned runs over the last 20 1/3 innings. And the Rockies have kind of had an up and down month. They went on a road trip last 2 weeks ago. When they came back, they lost like 9 games on a road trip. But when they went back home, they won 5. They won 5 and lost 1. So this is a confident team right now, playing much better. And their bullpen has been really solid for them.
They are beginning a 3-city road trip here tonight. They'll head to Philadelphia following here, and then they go to Miami to take on the Marlins. 2-2 is fouled back. Ryan has a 4-game hitting streak working. Two and two the count. Nobody on, 1 down. Inside ball 3. Of course, the Orioles have seen Outman when he pitched for the Athletics. He was traded to Colorado by Oakland. 3-2 is foul back as Roberts protecting.
Take a look inside the numbers here. Brian Roberts red hot against the National League West in 8 games this season. 346 batting average with an 849 OPS. The rest of the Major League Baseball 30 games that Brian's played against them this year, 245 with a 640 OPS. He loves hitting against the National League West. Great road trip for Brian Roberts.
And the 3-2 is a called strike 3. Brian was starting to go to first. He thought he had ball 4.
Change up right here from Outman. See the fade, almost a screwball type effect as it faded away. Nice buckled Brian Roberts there. Challenged the call thinking it was high. Looked like it did come back down in the zone.
So 2 down, the base is empty. Here's McLeod and fouls it off his foot.
I think that one missed the shin guard. And trainer Richie Bancel is out to take a look at it, give him a little time. Take a look here at what Nate McLeod did. This fastball running in on him, and he just beats it off the inside of his knee, it looked like. Didn't come down on the foot at all.
Yeah, 0-1 on Nate, who is 1 out of 3 with a solo homer. Off the end of the bat to center field. Easy play for Dexter Fowler. He's got it. And Outman comes on and retires the Orioles in order, 3 up and 3 down. We're through 7 at Camden Yards. The Rockies with a 4-2 lead. AT&T player of the game, and here are the candidates. Willeen Rosario, he has a double and a run scored, plus a 2-run home run that broke the tie. Manny Machado, who has 2 singles, he has 2 out of 3. Or Nate McLeod with a leadoff home run in the bottom of the first. Text in your vote now and have your voice heard. A, B, or C to 31826. Francisco Rodriguez came on and got the final 2 outs of the 7th. He stays on to begin the 8th. And the Orioles are wondering why the bats have gone so silent. First batter to face Rodriguez this inning will be Charlie Blackmon, who took over defensively in left field for the bottom of the 7th. He replaces Charlie Culberson, and all he did was homer.
Right. More experience out there, though, defensively with the lead.
And a left-handed batter now against Francisco Rodriguez, which of course doesn't bother Frankie.
No. He has the equalizer with that changeup. Well, he sells his changeup better than anybody. A lot of arms and legs coming at hitters. Great arm speed.
Breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Blackman appearing in his 44th game. A couple of home runs, 6 RBIs. And that ball is crushed to right field. That may land on Utah Street. So Blackman homers. It's now 5-2 Colorado. 3 home runs in this game have driven in 4 of the 5 runs.
Well, Blackman didn't want to wait around for that changeup. He got an elevated fastball, and he took advantage of it to pick up his 3rd home run. Take a look here. The fastball just staying up, out over the middle of the plate. Matt Wieters setting up away. The ball gets hit hard.
Dexter Fowler takes it low, 1-0. That is only the 6th hit for Colorado. 3, however, have been home runs. And low again, ball 2. The Orioles, since Adam Jones' RBI single with 1 down in the 3rd, have not had a hit. And they've had just 2 base runners, both on walks, and there's another base hit, this one by Fowler. Markakis over to keep it to a single as Fowler is on with nobody down. Fans, MLB.com at bat, celebrating 5 years as your #1 mobile app for live baseball. It's available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Orioles baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Orioles.com for all the details.
We'll visit here, Buck Showalter and Richie Bancells. Now, Matt Wieters was talking to Rodriguez before the inning started out on the mound to make sure he was okay. Looks like there might be some effects of something. Take a look at the last pitch. He's going to wind up, change up, kind of hops off the mound a little bit there. There's something going on.
And he is leaving the game. Nobody was getting loose, so a pitching change here as Rodriguez leaves with a run in, 1 on, nobody down in the 8th. Inning for the Orioles, the 3rd inning, stranding the bases loaded after Markakis with 1 down, pop foul to the catcher. Matt Wieters with that line drive off Nicasio, unfortunately, right to the second baseman. So the Orioles had a run in, bases loaded, 1 down. and could not score again. Francisco Rodriguez leaving this game with an injury. Darren O'Day comes on to warm up. And Mike, it's been missed opportunities. That's been the catchphrase for the Orioles going back to the road trip. And really, you can go all the way back to the Mariners series, the weekend, the last homestand for the Orioles, the final 3 games.
Yeah, they've had plenty of opportunities just coming up with that big hit. Now, Matt Wieters had a great at-bat going there, fouled off some really tough pitches. And all you can do is hit it. Unfortunately, he hit it right to the second baseman, and they were unable to score some more runs. I thought it looked like they had an opportunity to put up a big crooked number there in that inning. Great opportunity for them went by, and they have had chances over the last couple of weeks. Just that offense is it's not getting in sync. It isn't clicking, obviously. They did explode for 10 runs out in San Francisco, which is a good sign, but just the consistency in trying to come up with those big hits when runners are out in scoring position.
So Darren O'Day now will have to come on. Francisco Rodriguez leaves with an injury, and he will inherit Dexter Fowler on at first and just 1 down. So O'Day brought into a spot where he has to keep it as is. The Orioles have just 4 hits in this game and now trail by 3 runs.
And you see the numbers there for Darren O'Day, though. 155 batting average against right-handed hitters. 219 overall. Lefties much better at 324. And yeah, he needs to slam the door here and hope that the Orioles offense can pick it up here in the late innings. Now, there are certainly a late inning offense, ability to score some runs. Take a look at the inherited runners stranded. 75%, good number for Darren O'Day coming out of the bullpen there. Darren takes his warm-up pitches. Of course, that injury to Francisco Rodriguez didn't get ample time to get loose out in the bullpen, so getting his pitches done on the mound.
Well, so Day was the losing pitcher in the game Monday in Arizona. The home run in the bottom of the 9th by Adam Eaton. He threw 1 pitch, and it left the ballpark for a game-winning walk-off home run. He did appear in 6 games, 6 of the 8 on the trip, and that was the only game in which he allowed a run. So he has been pitching very, very effectively as of late, except for that home run ball that gave Arizona the win. The Orioles have not only lost 3 in a row, all 3 of them 1-run losses. And that was an area the Orioles excelled last year, winning those run games. They're now 14-21 in games decided by a run.
Take a look inside the numbers here. The Orioles bullpen earned run average by month in April outstanding. They were 2nd in the American League with a 2.49. Then it shot up in May, 5.03, and started to come back to reality and more consistent, 3.83. That's 9th in the American League in June, and in July, a real good number, 3.09, and back on the rise here in August at 3.83, but still pretty consistent. They're looking, obviously, or hoping for a downward trend through the end of August and into September.
DJ LeMahieu will be the first batter O'Day faces with Fowler on at first and nobody down. A run in on that home run by Blackman, which did, by the way, hit Utah Street. 73rd home run all time onto Utah Street and the 7th this year. It is the 6th by an opposing batter this season, first ever by a Colorado Rocky hitter. O'Day will keep an eye on Fowler. He has 18 stolen bases. Now Rodriguez goes 2/3 of an inning, 1 run so far, and Fowler is his responsibility. And a bunt. There's a breaking ball for a strike bunt attempt by LeMahieu. They would love to get a ground ball here and get 2. Runner going, pitch taken, throw to second, he's out. Matt Wieters guns down Fowler. What a throw by Wieters. One away.
Yeah, great throw, great pitch by Darren O'Day. That upshoot fastball. Take a look at the jump here. Pretty good jump and good speed. But he is really surprised when that ball gets there. Take a look at Matt Wieters. He's already setting up, knowing that Darren O'Day can spot that fastball at the top of the zone. And then the beautiful throw and the quick snap tag as Brian Roberts waits on Fowler to get there.
1-1 on LeMahieu, and the breaking ball sails outside. That will close the book on Rodriguez. So 1 run earned in 2/3 of an inning on a couple of hits, including a home run. LeMahieu's 0 for 3. He has grounded out, struck out, and flied out. Those at bats against Wei-Yin Chen, the Orioles starter, and there's a soft line drive caught by Brian Roberts. Brian never gave up on it. Looked like it had that knuckleball spin off the bat, and B-Rob grabbed it.
I think it went right off the end of the bat, kind of screwball effect off the bat, and came back on Brian Roberts. You see him time his jump, but then ends up catching it behind him. Nice play, good concentration by Brian Roberts.
Well, 2 down now. Troy Tulowitzki, Colorado shortstop, batting. Outside, ball 1.
You see a lot of those balls that are hit off the end of the bat off Darren O'Day, as Rockies have
Matt Belisle up.
But he has that sweeping slider, and it hits a lot of hitters. Get it off the end of the bat, and you see more ground balls. But the effects of the ball when it's hit in the air, it has that spin, almost like a curve ball off the bat.
2-0 the count on Tulowitzki. Breaks back in. That's the one that starts out at the hip. Looks like it's going to stay inside and makes a turn.
Yeah, Tulowitzki thought it was going to catch him in the hip, so that jump back.
Well, 2 balls and a strike on the Colorado shortstop. Outside, ball 3. Chen wins 6 1/3, 4 earned runs on 5 hits. Rodriguez 2/3, 1 earned run on 2 hits, and now O'Day. And there's a 2-out walk. Just the second walk allowed by Oriole pitching. And the owner of the others coming to the plate. Michael Kadire walked leading off in the 7th, and he was on for the Rosario 2-run home run that broke the 2-all tie. And it's high 1-0. Now, Kadire in this game has not even put the ball in play. He has struck out twice, plus that walk. Three out of his last 14 as he bats here in the 8th inning. Wieters out to talk to Darren O'Day, who appears frustrated at the moment. Bill Castro, the Orioles pitching coach, now talking with Buck Showalter on the bench.
A little bit different for Bill Castro, talking to him face to face as opposed to on the bullpen phone.
And giving his opinion.
There you go.
And maybe a suggestion.
Yeah.
Breaking ball bends in there, 2-1. Dyer is just one of 2 Colorado hitters who have ever seen O'Day, and the other is Gonzalez, who's on the DL. Fastball, first strike, 2-2. Dyer is 1 for 7 in his career against Darren O'Day. Runner at first with 2 down, and a big 2-2 pitch coming to Kadire. Called strike 3. Got it on the outside corner. The Rockies had another run on the Blackman-Utah Street home run. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Orioles down by 3. Fit and Fun program. To date, the Orioles have drawn 292 walks for a total of $14,600. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and a more active lifestyle.
Matt Belisle now in the game for the Rockies, and he has been red hot for them here recently. Over his last 17 games, just 4 earned runs allowed in 17 and a third innings pitched. Look at the numbers there, 4.08 earned run average of 46 strikeouts and 12 base on balls. On a batting average of 248, lefties 284, righties just 226. Got fastball, they can work in the low 90s, slider curve, and a change. He's been a mainstay in the Rockies bullpen since 2009. Last year actually led the major league in appearances with 80 appearances out of the Rockies pen.
They'll face Machado, Davis, and Jones trying to protect a 3-run lead. Manny, first ball swinging, pops it up. Shallow right center. And Kadire calls off Fowler. 1 pitch, 1 away. Kadire and Fowler having a laugh about that. Normally the center fielder catches anything he can get to. Manny's 2 for 4. Fourteen of the last 16 Orioles to bat have been retired. And the 2 that were not retired both walked. There's not been a base hit since the 3rd inning. Orioles have only 4 hits in this game. They had a 2-0 lead going to the 5th and have not been able to add to the 2 runs. And Davis takes high for ball 2. Belisle's been a pro ball since '98. He was a first-round pick of the Braves in '98 out of Austin, Texas. Way upstairs, ball 3. The injury that chased Francisco Rodriguez is a right groin strain. Davis fouls it back, 3-2.
let's hope it's not a serious one. Certainly need the arms in the bullpen.
Well, 3-2 on Davis, trying to get on with one down in the 8th. Orioles down by 3, need base runners. Now back in the netting. Lyle has pitched in the big leagues with Cincinnati and Colorado. He came to the Rockies as a minor league free agent and has emerged as one of their main back of the bullpen guys. And another good cut by Davis. Lyle about to throw the 8th pitch in this at bat. Runnels, the bench coach with Walt Weiss. And another foul ball. $31,438 the attendance tonight. And he got him. Davis down on strikes for the second out. And 2 away here in the 8th inning.
Pretty nasty slider right here at 89 miles an hour. Real hard. See him get on the side of that baseball. Look at that late action down and in to Chris Davis.
Well, the combo of Outman and Belisle have retired 5 in a row since relieving Nicasio to begin the 7th. Here's Adam Jones. Adam 1 out of 3 with an RBI single, and he just missed a 2-run home run in the 5th. Takes a fastball for strike 1. Now back to our right, and it's 0-2. Jim Johnson getting loose in the bullpen. Looks like he'll come on for an inning of work, which Buck Showalter hopes will be a successful inning after his tough road trip, having blown saves in his last 3 appearances. Jones doesn't chase. 1-2. One-two is swung on and missed. He got him. So the Rockies bullpen has retired 6 consecutive batters. We'll head to the 9th. Birds down by 3. Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Lovely Friday night at Camden Yards, except for the scores. The Rockies lead it 5-2. Colorado has scored in 4 consecutive at-bats heading to the 9th. And here's Jim Johnson.
Yeah, Jim Johnson now in, trying to get himself back on track after a tough end to the road trip. 3.52 earned run average. Does have 39 saves on the season. 271 opponent batting average. 259 lefties. 286 against the right-handed hitters.
So Jim looking for a clean inning to feel better about things, and he bounces it up there. Here's our Lexus drive of the game. Rosario is last at bat.
Yeah, he got into a fastball away just enough on the 318 right field line for a big 2-run home run.
Drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the Baltimore area's #1 Lexus dealer. Come see why they're #1 at lexusoftowson.com. Willeen Rosario, big night. 2 out of 3, double a run scored. And that home run, he fouls it off, so 1-2 the count. The Orioles in the ninth will have Markakis, Wieters, and Hardy coming up, at the moment trailing by 3. And the 1-2 is swept foul. Showalter and Bill Castro looking on. And a little bit low, 2-2.
Pretty good action on two-seam fastball right there from Jim Johnson. 95 miles an hour. That's a nice life.
A little bit low, ball 3. Of course, when you have a pitcher who is in the spotlight, as a closer is, and he struggles, there's a variety of opinions, and one of the opinions about Jim, and the 3-2 has hit the second base. Brian Roberts will play the hop and one away, is that since he has starter stuff, maybe he should mix up the pitches a bit more. Here's an update on the voting for the AT&T player of the game. Right now, Nate McLeod with that 1 for 4 in the home run in the first has the lead. Still time to vote, A, B, or C to 31826, and Tom and Rick will have the results coming up on O's Extra Postgame.
Yeah, I think Jim Johnson has the ability to mix in more pitches. If his two-seam fastball is working, though, 94, 95 miles an hour, and gets that late life down in the zone, then he can win ball games with just that one pitch. But if it's not there, if it's flat that night, he has the ability to throw that breaking ball in the changeup and offset the fastball.
Swing and a miss. There's the changeup. Helton out in front. In his last 3 appearances, all blown saves, 1 inning, 1 run allowed. 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 1 home run. Slice foul the other way. Clouth with a run, but he'll run out of room. He did get the win last Friday night in San Francisco after he allowed the Giants to tie to get the blown save. The Orioles came back and scored, and he was the pitcher of record and got the win. 1-2 and a high fly ball to right. Markakis is back, and that ball is gone. Well, the struggles continue for Jim Johnson as Helton hits it out. It's now 6-2.
Helton's 8th home run of the year. Well, back-to-back changeups, and he just got short with the swing and fastball up and in. He just had a short, compact swing. Look at that location. Kept his hands tight to his body. His fastball is elevated, but he gets that bat head to it. Come up with a big insurance run there.
Colorado has now scored in 5 consecutive at-bats. They trailed 2-0 going to the 5th, and they have scored 6 unanswered runs. Strike at the knees, 1-1. So the only Oriole pitcher not to give up a run in this game, Darren O'Day, pitched a scoreless 1-inning relief stint in the 8th after relieving Frankie Rodriguez. But the Oriole hitters have to take some of the responsibility for this one, scoring only 2 runs on just 4 hits and getting only 1 run in with the bases loaded and 1 down back in the 3rd. It could have been a much different game with a big inning there.
Well, you know, this Orioles offense is capable of doing much better. Just unfortunately, there have been these times here recently where they haven't been able to produce in big situations, but we've seen the output that they're capable of.
3-2, and he got him.
Now, when Jim Johnson makes pitches like that, I think there's no way he could ever be in trouble. It's 94 miles an hour, dotted with late movement down and away. I mean, that is a filthy fastball.
Now, 2 down in the inning. Here is Yorvit Torrealba, who is 0 for 3. Slide out to center field his last at bat, and a comebacker out towards Johnson. He'll get it to first, and it ends the inning. But the Rockies had a big insurance run on the Helton home run. Bottom of the 9th coming up. The Orioles need 4.
Last 4 innings, home run derby here for Colorado.
They have. Colorado's put up 4 home runs on the night. Wei-Yin Chen, pretty much the same scenario in his last 3 ball games. Late inning home runs have caused him to exit the game early again. The Orioles are going to need a big uprising. They're down 4 in the bottom of the 9th.
Do or die, bottom half of the 9th inning for the Orioles. We'll hear from Buck Showalter, Wei-Yin Chen when the game is over. Let's go back upstairs now to Jim Hunter and Mike Bordick.
All right, Tom and Rick, thank you very much. The skipper's looking on, and Walt Weiss with a 6-2 lead on 8 base hits, and a lot of offense in this game late. Here is Rex Brothers on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, Brothers now the closer, 1.46 earned run average. Let's have 11 saves and 12 opportunities, 50 strikeouts to 24 base on balls. The power pitcher, take a look at the opponent batting average, 203 overall. Lefty's just 160, righty's not much better at 220. He's got a good 4-seam fastball that he can top out about 96. Hard slider and a good changeup as well. He is filled in for Betancourt very nicely. Of course, Betancourt had been their closer, and he will be coming back in this series, they say, possibly tomorrow.
Well, for Walt Weiss, he had Brothers getting loose because it was a safe situation, and I guess he didn't want to not use him after getting him up and getting him loose. So the Orioles need a big inning down by 4, and they have not had a base hit since the 3rd inning with Adam Jones single to drive in a run. Markakis will lead off. Wieters and Hardy will follow. Nick is 0 for 3. Needs a base hit to extend the hitting streak to 6 in a row. Takes a strike. Nick has batted twice in this game with men in scoring position. In the 1st inning, he struck out with Manny Machado at second base. And then in the 3rd inning, with the bases loaded and 1 down, he popped foul to the catcher. He lined out to left field, leading off in the 6th inning. 1-1 the count. Check swing and it's high. Appeal to third. He went too far. One thing you like about the style of these Rockies relievers, Outman, Belisle, and Brothers, Mike, they just come right at you. Here you go, hit it.
Yeah, they do. Aggressive in the zone with all their pitches.
Check swing and it's low. Orioles are 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. The Rockies are 1 for 3. Two is swept foul to stay alive. Of course, for Brothers, Markakis is the key man. When you have a 4-run lead, you don't want to encourage the Orioles by allowing the leadoff man to get on. And for the Orioles, it's exactly the opposite. 2-2. Strike 3 called.
Brothers creating some good downhill angle. He gets right on top. You see him get way up on top of this fastball. And he spots at 94, right on the outside corner. This locks Markakis up.
Rockies bullpen, Outman, Belisle, and Brothers have not allowed a base runner. Now through 2 1/3. 7 outs recorded, 4 by strikeout. Here's Wieters. Inside, nearly hit him, 1-0. Strike at the knees. Nicasio would be the winning pitcher, and Chen would be the loser, unless the Orioles rally here in the ninth. Outside, ball 2. Orioles were hoping for a good weekend series against Colorado, with Tampa Bay following in and Oakland following Tampa Bay in next weekend. This is a critical homestand for the Birds. It really can make or break their season. And Mike, as you pointed out, they came into this game 3 back in the wild card, trailing Oakland and Tampa Bay, their next 2 opponents.
Right.
But you got to get past Colorado first. And they trail 6-2 here in the ninth. Wieters, high fly ball to center field. Way back it goes. And that one is gone. It is 6-3 Colorado. Number 17 for Matt.
Brothers challenging Matt Wieters with a fastball. That's 17th home run this season. He got on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball and just hammered this pitch. Look at the short swing, short stride, gets behind it, drives it to center field. Nice swing by Matt Wieters.
J.J. Hardy now will take ball 1. J.J. is 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts, including 1 a double play ground ball. Needs a hit to extend his streak to 12 in a row. Outside corner called strike. Well, the Orioles have 3 runs in this game, 2 coming by solo home runs. The other driven in by Adam Jones' RBI single. Good cut, 2-2. Steve Pearce on deck to bat for Urrutia. 2-2 on Hardy. And he got him. Breaking ball down in the dirt. Torrealba plays it to first. There's the second out.
That's what that angle creates right there. He threw that hard slider at 88 miles an hour right over the top. Looked like it was going to be a fastball, and the bottom drops out of it to J.J. Harden.
Well, Steve Pearce will bat for Urrutia to get a right-hander up there. 253 on the year. Pearce was 2 for 9 on the road trip. And he'll look over a strike. Pearce is 0 for 3 in pinch hitting appearances on the season. Strike 2 called. The Colorado relievers now have 5 strikeouts in 2 2/3 innings. Pearce fouls it off to stay alive. Weiss looking on. This is Buck Showalter on the other side. Swept towards short. Tulowitzki gets it to first in time to get Pearce, and the Rockies get the opener of this 3-game series, coming back from an early 2-0 deficit to win it by the final of 6-3. So the Orioles get a run in the 9th on the home run by Wieters, but the Birds' losing streak has now reached 4 consecutive games. We invite you to join us again tomorrow. Morrow's action, game 2 of this 3-game series. It'll be Bud Norris on the mound for the Birds against Chad Bettis of Colorado. Our coverage begins at 6:30 on MASN 2 HD with those extra, presented by Geico, and then game coverage at 7 o'clock. For Mike Porter and our entire hardworking crew, Jim Hunter saying so long from Oriole Park, where the Rockies have won the opener, beating the Orioles by the final of 6-3. Tonight's telecast, a MASN presentation. Tom and Rick, those extra, presented by PNC, comes your way right now. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. We'll see you.